Hey, welcome back to the channel. So in this video we do have a very interesting and special handheld, or I think it's a special handheld. This is the A320, the Dingoo Digital. So where we are familiar and kind of spoiled with all those brands nowadays like Powkiddy, and the Anbernic and other brands having these open Dingoo devices. In my opinion, the A320 digital multimedia device was one of the first ones that had like a lot of cool options. And this device was quite interesting quality when it comes to a handheld. We are so used to having so many options to play, let's say retro stuff on the go. But the A320 was quite interesting and unique for its time. Because here you can see like it has a support for Famicom, Super Famicom, Mega Drive, Game Boy Advance, SNK or another like Neo Geo and Capcom System 1 and 2. But if we're talking about, let's say, handhelds that I wanted to review here on the channel, this is absolutely one of them. This is, in my opinion, one of those nostalgia ones. By the way, I think 10 years ago, maybe a little bit longer, I picked this up in the black color. So I didn't have exactly the same one that I had back in the day, but I think it's pretty cool. So I want to do this unboxing together with you, because this is absolutely, in my opinion again, this is just where it all started. You can still find these handhelds on eBay or other places, maybe a secondhand marketplace. But when you're looking at it, it's quite tiny. But when you feel it, it's absolutely very nice quality. It weighs quite heavy. It comes with, of course, with a built-in battery. And the touch itself, the buttons, it's short traveled. It feels very nice. And I think this was just great quality for back in the day. Of course, the shoulder buttons are not placed very well. We do have the on and off switch like the PlayStation Portable. You can turn it on when sliding it up. And you can even put it on hold when sliding it down. Having a headphone jack out. We do have an AV out on this device. Some stereo speakers. The input for a card. So extend the internal memory. So this is basically what you're going to get with it. Digital Dingoo. And yeah, I think it's still pretty damn cool. Of course, this is more like a novelty nowadays. I don't know if the battery is still working. I tried to load it a couple of times because this thing is already getting old. The display itself is not your typical IPS panel that we have seen before. This is like an old school LCD. But even this thing is old. That cannot be compared with the cheap devices we have reviewed here. But here you can see it's not super bright. But this thing is way better quality that we have seen before. So basically when you're looking at a lot of these say cheap China device I've reviewed, think about the Powkiddy. That was more like the better ones back in the day. It was still this display is just way better than the previous ones. That's quite interesting if you think about it. So let's take a close look at the menu and what we can do with it. But inside the box we're going to get ourselves the adapter for charging it. We're going to get ourselves a mini USB for charging. And we do have some crappy headphones like always. And there we have the manual. Pretty damn cool to have this thing in such a good condition and so complete. So lights on. Okay, so let's see here. We do have the user manual. This very nice quality. With some good explanation like how everything works, how you need to configure everything. Take consideration, it doesn't come with some built-in games, sometimes some homebrew games, but it was quite limited. And it was completely different how it is now. Now we're spoiled with so much stuff that we can do with it. We can even play Dreamcast. That was, man, that was absolutely unthinkable when they released this. But what can you do with it? So basically, of course, we can play retro games. We can listen to some music. So even watch some videos. And that was what this thing was all about. It was more like a multifunctional device. Like the PlayStation Portable, only this was based on some different operating system. And we had some more freedom to do whatever you want to. Of course, back in the day, I think was PlayStation Portable was already hacked. But it wasn't very an expensive device to buy. So this was a very good solution. We have the 3D games. Here we go into the folders. I'm guessing you have the option to go into the emulator, stuff like that. But it was quite limited when you're looking at the things you can do. Here we have the interesting games. The way how it is set is interesting games. But let's try some games and let's see how they will run on it. So when you're looking at the device itself, when it comes to the quality, the audio itself is very nice. This is something you don't see very often, only with, let's say, more expensive products like Anbernic. Also, when you're pressing select and start, we do have the option to make a quick load, quick save, mess around with the buttons if you want to. So when it comes to this, it runs pretty damn good. Okay, so let's play in quick part. And when you're listening to the soundtracks, everything works very well on this. And you know what the ultimate test is? If you can do the freaking Mega Man Crashman dance on this device. You can see it works like a charm. So absolutely the D-pad is amazing for 2D platformers. Good audio, nice display. So for a very old device, I think if you just want to mess around with it, you can pick it up for maybe like a couple of dollars. Absolutely worth picking up. The only downside is like we need to replace the battery, but because I've loaded it up for a couple of hours and after like a minute or so, it's already giving me the error that I need to basically recharge it again. Okay, so another thing is quite interesting. Some options are even available with the Game Boy Advance. For example, we do have even frame skip if you want to set it like that. So if you do have some issues, yeah, take consideration. These are like quite older devices. So we do have some, like maybe some messing around with it. And that's a little bit of a bummer sometimes. Here we can change out the volume. Let's put it a little bit lower to, let's say 80, because this thing going to be like sounding too loud. But let's play a little bit. I'm curious how good it will run. Alright. And you can see like it does struggle a little bit with Game Boy Advance. Oh crap, I got a TT box on my freaking head. Ooh, you can just see and hear that like it dips down big time. Oh boy. But when it comes to the gameplay itself, it's not superb when it comes to Game Boy Advance. Okay, so the frame skip has been set to automatic. So let's see if we can play some older main games on it. But that is quite interesting. I can still remember that I played it back in the day with a controller, because that was possible. I don't know if it's going to be possible with this device, that we can add a controller to it. But I was quite flabbergasted about it back in the day. But the emulation performance was absolutely not great. This game runs fine, but I can still remember playing some other games that had some issues. Yeah, that stereo audio, you can just hear it, how good it is. And again, the D-pad, the buttons, everything plays so well. I wish they made like something like a new Dingoo for our device, like a cheap one, like this one, just that plays amazing. Because when you're playing this game on a cheaper device, think about like a $25 device, most of the time it doesn't have like the same experience. Because they're just so, let's say, the games itself doesn't run that great, like most of the time worse than this one. Has like horrible displays and pretty damn shitty controls. Alright, so next up, let's try some beefcake and wolfies. You know, like punch him in the face and kick him in the balls. This is the way how it goes. You can always like do the different move, like punch him in the balls, but no, no wolfie. Be nice. Nope, don't want to be. I don't want to become beefcake. Punch him in the balls. Yeah, punch him in the balls. Punch him in the balls. Come here, boy. No wolfie, go away. No wolfie, go away. I'm gonna punch him in the balls. Yeah. But okay, so when you're going to play some Super Famicom, here you can see like it struggles big time. And this is where we're going to see like limitations. This is like the old school days, you know, when I had this product and I was more like, okay, it's cool, we can play retro games on a device like this, but it runs like shit. And that's absolutely the case here. And maybe you can mess around with the emulators. You can really see that it doesn't even run on full speed. The audio is absolutely like horrible. The D-pad is so good on this thing. Oh, the sound effects are so bad. Oh, here, look at the slowdowns. Oh, this is so bad. Okay, somehow the battery does hold some charge, but I just wanted to see if we can do a quick teardown and take a close look in the inside. The question remains, can we like freaking get into this hole? Because these things are tiny, man. Like even this freaking screwdriver doesn't fit perfectly. But I think I can get it loose. Do I? No, I don't. What the hell is going on? It's like magic. Alright, so let's do a quick teardown, because I'm curious, like, can we replace the battery? And oh man, that is a big boy in the inside. Alright, so to begin with, we do have like two speakers. We can remove them. I'm going to leave them in the second cover. They have been soldered straight into the PCB. So here we're going to get this gigantic battery that will give most of the weight. The downside is that the battery has been soldered straight into the main board, so we don't have like an easy plug and play situation. It's not a big of a deal, but let's see if we can remove this so we can see what kind of battery we need to order, because this is something we need to replace in the future. Have been basically like put on this position with some double-sided tape. Alright, so let's take a close look at the battery. Okay, so I'm guessing with this number I can order a replacement battery for it, but this battery is in total in 700 milliamp, so nothing really fancy. I'm not going to clean and everything up, but I just want to take a close look at it, what kind of chip they're using. And over here you can see what it is. Here we do have the Anbenic, the GZ4732. That is something we do see sometimes nowadays in handhelds, but it is a very old chip. But when you're looking at the handheld itself, it's quite interesting how it looks in the inside. Later on, we can replace the battery if we want to, so that is something that is possible. But of course, yeah, the Anbenic CPU or this chipset they're using is a quite old one, and that's the reason why it doesn't have like this amazing emulation performance. And of course, it is also being like incompatibility with the emulators running on this. But again, I'm happy that we do have like better chips nowadays that runs almost everything that runs not all on this handheld. So when you're looking at the A320 digital media player or the Dingoo, I must say that this is an absolutely piece of nostalgia, and I just want to review it here on the channel and just check it out after all of those years, because I have never seen it back then when I sold it off. I can still remember that I had it, and I was more like flabbergasted what it can do, but in the end was disappointed of the emulation performance. And yeah, I completely understand now again why this was, because not every single MAME game or Super NES game will run perfectly. Even Game Boy Advance has some problems. Let me know, what do you think of this old school device? Would you pick it up for a couple of dollars, or do you still own it? Thanks for watching, consider subscribing, hit that little bell, become one of the Wicked family, and it would be great to see you in the next video.